Yeah, so geocentrism. Yeah, I'm convinced. I've been looking into it, and so many evidences for it, and so much non-evidence for the moving Earth. All of the calculations that are made for flights into space are done on fixed Earth calculations. When armies are launching bombs that cross over continents, they are doing calculations that are based on a fixed Earth, not a moving Earth. Because see, if the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour underneath, and you shoot a bomb, and let's say the Earth is spinning eastwards at 1,000 miles an hour, and you shoot a missile going eastward or westward, you'd have to calculate for the 1,000 mile an hour shift of the Earth in order for your missile to land in the right place. Not to mention that Earth is supposedly moving through space at 66,700 miles per hour, and in a galaxy that is spinning at 500,000 miles an hour. And on a calm day, you're standing there, your hair isn't even rustled by all of that. Amazing. Yeah, but the missile launches, they're calculated on fixed Earth calculations. They don't factor in the fact that the Earth is spinning around in order to make their missiles land in the right place. Geosynchronous satellites are supposedly synchronized to the spinning of the Earth, and they are synchronized to one exact location on the Earth. So they're up in the atmosphere at 22,000 roughly miles in space, but they are supposedly locked on to a point on the Earth, and spin with the Earth exactly precisely, because if they even move out of phase a little bit, you're not going to get your satellite correct transmission. Now that's a problem when we know that the Earth supposedly kind of moves, according to the moving Earth theory, moves a little faster sometimes, a little slower. It's not exactly like a clock consistent. So how do you suppose those geosynchronous satellites are locked on to an Earth that modulates in its spinning? And there's, I don't know how many of those satellites there are. There's a lot of them up there. Well, it's because they are actually fixed in space over a fixed Earth, and that's why they work. It's all a big lie. It is the big lie right next to evolution, for which there's no evidence. Macroevolution, there's no evidence. There's evolution, things do adapt, and there is selective adaptation, but there's no jumping of species. There's no evidence for that whatsoever. Same with the moving Earth. There's no evidence. It's all mathematics. And a number of experiments, 4 major experiments at least. The Michelson-Morley experiment and a few others. I will write about them in my blog, Brother Thomas blog. Just Google that and look through my blog posts under for the title Geocentrism. I'll put up the experiments that are not taught in universities because they contradict the moving Earth theory. In fact, it was devastating. The Michelson-Morley experiment in the late 1800s attempted to show that light going, well, I won't explain the whole experiment, but let's just look to my blog for that. But let's just say that when they did the experiment, which was to prove the Copernican moving Earth theory, it had the opposite finding. And they tried it several times, and they kept getting the results that actually proved a motionless Earth. And it threw the whole science community into a big uproar, and there was a big crisis there because they built this whole anti-God evolutionary theory tied to moving Earth and billions of years old universe and giant trillion light years universe and whatever it is size on this whole edifice of lies. And here the actual science was not backing it up, kind of like in evolution. So luckily Einstein came along and rescued the model with his anti-God theory of relativity, anti-truth, there are no absolutes theory of relativity, which is a big sham. Einstein, I'm finding out, was not that brilliant of a guy as he's made out to be. He looks like he may have plagiarized a number of things, for one thing. At least it wasn't all his own ideas. Basically, he concocted a esoteric mathematics that only about 2 people could even follow because it was so absurd and skipped out of the bounds of logic. And he came up with, he had to get rid of the ether. That's a whole nother story. I'll get into that sometime too. But yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. Fixed Earth, Bible's true, lies upon lies, evolution, moving Earth, 2 of the biggest lies that have been foisted on humanity. And Merry Christmas.